Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. NBA, Heat handle Hawks to gain split of 2-game series. Tyler Herro, in a big bounce-back game, produced 24 points and 10 assists as the host Miami Heat defeated the Atlanta Hawks 131-109 on Wednesday. In Miami's previous game, a loss at Atlanta on Monday, Herro was held to 11 points while shooting 0-for-9 on three-pointers. He made 4 of 8 attempts from deep on Wednesday. The Heat also got a season-high 24 points from Duncan Robinson. Davion Mitchell scored 12 of his 20 points in the third quarter. Bam Adebayo, who was questionable to play due to a calf injury, added 20 points and 9 rebounds. As a team, Miami made 23 of 42 from three-point range, 54.8%, including a 5-4-5 effort by Mitchell and a 6-4-13 outing from Robinson. For the Hawks, Trae Young had 17 points and 8 assists, 3.5 assists below his NBA leading average. Dyson Daniels added a team-high 18 points and 2 steals. He entered the day leading the NBA with a rate of 3.1 steals per game. Caris LeVert also scored 17 points. Zachary Rizicher, the first overall pick in the last year's draft, had 11 points and 3 assists as Atlanta lost to Miami for the first time in 3 meetings this season. The teams will conclude the season series on March 27 in Miami. In the first quarter, Miami shot 61.1%, taking a 29-28 lead. Atlanta also shot well, 55%. Stay up to date with the latest health and wellness reads. The Hawks surged ahead in the second quarter before the Heat went on a 13-0 run to go up by 8 on a three-pointer from Robinson. Atlanta came right back, and the score was tied 65-65 at halftime. The first half featured 8 lead changes and 9 tie scores. Herro led all first-half scorers with 17 points, and Robinson added 14 points. Atlanta shot 60% in the first half, including 8-for-16 on three-point attempts. Miami shot 58.6%, including 11-for-19 from deep. In the third quarter, Miami closed with a 20-6 run, taking a 107-93 lead into the fourth. Mitchell's effort was the key, and Robinson and Mitchell capped the period with three-pointers. The Hawks never got closer than 13 points in the fourth quarter. Atlanta lost despite shooting 50.6% from the floor for the game, including 12-for-32, 37.5% from beyond the arc. Herro, Robinson each scored 24, and the Heat hit 23 threes on the way to 131-109 win over Hawks. Tyler Herro scored 24 points and added 10 assists. Duncan Robinson scored 24 points off the bench, and the Miami Heat shot a season-best 59% in a 131-109 win over the Atlanta Hawks on Wednesday night. Davion Mitchell made all 5 of his three-point tries and scored 20 for the Heat, who got 20 points and 9 rebounds from Bam Adebayo. Miami made 23 three-pointers, 1 shy of the franchise record. The Heat had 39 assists on 45 field goals. Dyson Daniels scored 18 points and Trae Young and Caris LeVert each had 17 for the Hawks, who gave up 65 points in the first half, then 66 more in the second half. Hawks, Atlanta fell to 6-22 this season when giving up at least 120 points. That might be the magic defensive number for the Hawks, who are 21-10 when allowing 119 or fewer points this season. Heat, the game was the start of a stretch in which Miami will play 9 home games in a 10-game span, and 14 home games in a 17-game stretch. Entering Wednesday, the Heat had played once at home in 4 weeks, 9 out of 10, on the road sandwiched around the All-Star break. Miami went on a 23-6 run to close the third quarter, turning a 3-point deficit into a 107-93 lead going into the final 12 minutes. Miami had 107 points through 3 quarters, tying the franchise record done on 2 previous occasions. The others, February 6, 1991, at New Jersey and at home on March 29, 2024, against Portland. There were 200 points scored through 3 quarters, the 4th most in a Heat game. Atlanta plays host to Western Conference leading Oklahoma City on Friday. Miami plays host to Indiana on Friday. Jimmy Butler has made a flying start to life in a Golden State Warriors uniform. The team, which was struggling badly not too long ago, are 6-1 with him. Some are now starting to view the Warriors as outside contenders for the championship. Steph Curry and Butler in a playoff series is a scary combination, to say the least. Both of them are capable of winning one on their own. On the other hand, the Miami Heat have been on a steep downward trajectory over the past few weeks. They are 1-6 over their last 7 games, with their only win coming against a struggling Toronto Raptors side. It is no secret that things did not end well between Butler and the Heat before he was traded to the Warriors. Since the trade, Butler has appeared to take some subtle digs at the Heat. And his former teammates might not like some of his recent comments. According to Marcus Thompson II and Sam Amick of The Athletic, Butler said, "Here, everybody knows their role, and they know where the ball is supposed to go, at what time in the game, and that's a huge difference maker. Ain't nobody fighting for shots. Ain't nobody doing none of that. You get the ball where it needs to go. In the 4th quarter, you slow the ball down, take good shots, take care of the ball, and that's what it takes to win in this league at a high level." Butler further went on to add, "This is what I've been trying to do in the past X amount of years, but now that we're here, and we get to mix up playing fast and slowing the ball down to make sure that we can win, we can do that too." Not only is that not a good reflection on the Heat but also his former teammates as well. Of course, it is hard to argue with Butler at the moment as the Warriors are winning consistently with him in the team. Their only loss in the last 7 was a narrow against the Dallas Mavericks on a night Kyrie Irving was in inspired form. The Warriors have already avenged that though with a blowout win over the Mavericks. Major Trae Young news before Miami Heat game. It will be a battle of 8th and 9th in the East when the Miami Heat take on the Atlanta Hawks. It is safe to say that that is not a spot either team wants to be in. It is like no man's land in the NBA. The Hawks enter this game on the back of a 5-5 run. Things are going much worse for the Heat. Despite some good play from the likes of Andrew Wiggins, Tyler Herro, and Bam Adebayo lately, they are on a 1-6 run with their only win coming against the Toronto Raptors. The two teams met a couple of days ago in what was a low-scoring contest. The Hawks won 98-86. The problem for the Heat is that they do not seem to have a face right now following the departure of Jimmy Butler, who was traded to the Golden State Warriors after a messy saga that saw him being suspended 3 times before his departure. Wiggins, Herro, and Adebayo all feel like great second and third options, but not players who can carry a franchise on their backs. The Hawks do have an absolute superstar on their roster in the form of Trae Young. There were doubts about his availability for the Heat game, but that has now been cleared up. According to Brad Rowland, Young is available to play tonight. He is averaging 30.3 points and 11.9 assists per game in February. That is great news for the Hawks and not so much for the Heat. Young had looked a bit off color in their previous meeting, only putting up 11 points and going 0-7 from 3-point range. He would surely want to rectify that in the rematch. And you fan? What do you think of Trae Young's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.